Hello, Rachel Papworth here from Green and Tidy. Welcome to another YouTube Live. I'm the online professional organiser, liberating you from the shackles of clutter and chaos for peace of mind and productivity. And I'm sitting on the floor in my kitchen today because I want to talk to you about something that touches on so many different issues. It touches on books, which we've been talking about a lot recently. It touches on keeping your New Year's resolutions, and me keeping mine. And most crucially, it touches on two common pitfalls around decluttering and organising and how we might avoid them. It touches on that pitfall, it touches on churning, which is where you just move stuff around your home instead of actually, as we're getting rid of anything, you just move it from place to place. And then it also touches on that pitfall that those of us who care about the environment and like to take care of our stuff can often fall into, where we are so determined to find the perfect place and find the right way to move something on, the perfect new home for it, that we end up not moving on at all. And I was prompted to talk to you about it by doing a coaching call with the Declutter Club, and a lovely lady who is a member of the Declutter Club. We were talking about her kitchen and what was in the way of her clearing her kitchen services. And one of the things that's on her kitchen services is a load of pill bottles, medication bottles, which she ends up saving because she can see they're potentially useful. They're nice bottles, somebody could potentially use those bottles. And she doesn't have a way locally to recycle them, but she doesn't actually have a way, somebody to give them to. She hasn't actually found a new use for them. And so they just build up and build up. And we talked about how sometimes you have to balance your commitment to find the right home for something with your commitment to have a home that works. And that how something just sitting around your house isn't actually helping the environment or helping anybody else. It's just causing you problems as well as being a waste of resources. So I came off that call and then I thought, oh my goodness, I have something like this in my own home. So that's what's in this box. What is in this box is a load of books. And we've been talking about books recently. I used to keep a lot more books, but I did a massive declutter of books and I don't keep them anymore. And if you follow me, if you've been on my social media or you follow my mailing list, you'll know that the way that I tend to move books on is through book crossing. What you do with book crossing is you register your book on the website and it gets given a unique ID number, and then you leave it somewhere. And if you're lucky, the person who finds it makes a journal entry and you get to track your book all over the world, and it's fun. And that's how I move my books on. However, there are some books that are a little tricky to move on that way. I tend to leave books at my local railway station, but I have some books that are a bit specialist, like this Green Guide to Business, for example. I just feel like if I leave that at the railway station, it isn't necessarily going to find the right reader. Often it's a non-fiction book that I can struggle to release. Or I sometimes have, and this is like what I said about wanting the perfect way of moving something on. There's quite a few books in here that I want to leave either on a particular day or in a particular place because it kind of relates to them, so it's an extra bit of fun. So for example, this is a jokey book about relationships, so I want to release it on Valentine's Day. Or this is a book about the star sign Virgo, so I want to release it during August, during the Virgo period of the year. And this is a book of card games, and I'm waiting for the universe to give me a pack of cards. I'm not going to go and buy one, but I'm waiting for the universe to give me a pack of cards so that I can release that alongside a pack of cards, so it's actually useful to the person who finds it. But because I do that, they end up sitting around for ages, particularly if I then forget. So I meant to release this on Valentine's Day last year, and I forgot. And so here we are coming up to Valentine's again this year, and I'm still holding on to it. And so what happened was I started churning the books. I started leaving them places where I hoped it would remind me to take a book with me every time I left the house. So for a while they lived in a corner of my office, and then they lived somewhere else. And then I moved them into this box in the kitchen, thinking they would annoy me enough there that I would always remember to release them and eventually I'd read books. And I don't want to think about how long ago that was. I don't actually know how long ago it was. I reckon it's at least a year, and it could well be longer. And the box is still sitting here. So I made a New Year's resolution this year, which is that by the end of this year, this box is going to be empty. And the reason I go until the end of the year is because all these books are in French. And I think if I leave them at my local railway station, the chances of them finding a reader are pretty slim. But I am going to France later in the year, and so I'm going to take all those with me when I go to France, and I'm going to release them when I go to France. And of course, books get added to this box as the year goes on. As I finish a book, I pop another book in it, because as I finish a book, I pop it in this box. However, by the end of the year, it is going to be empty. That is my promise to you and to me. So has that made you think of anything that's in your house that you are hanging on to because you want to find a way to recycle it, or you want to find the perfect way to move it on, but you haven't found that for quite some time? Is there anything that you're churning around the house for that reason? And has this video inspired you to find a way to actually let it go, and maybe even just accept that you have to send it to, well, recycling or even to rubbish, because you don't have a way of moving it on that's any better than that? So comment in the put something in the comments below to let me know, because I'd really love to hear from you. Please do give this video a like. I'm so grateful for all likes and shares, of course. Requests for videos, please keep the requests coming in. Hilary, I am going to get to luggage, I promise. That will probably be next week now. But keep the requests coming in, because I love them and they really help me to know what you want to know about. And I will see you in the next YouTube Live. Bye for now.